and welcome. I am Light, and this is my channel. Today I'm going to tell you about the murder of an 18-year-old girl. Before we get started, as always, if you would please give this video a thumbs up. It helps my channel. Subscribing helps my channel. Sharing helps my channel. And leaving comments below all help my channel to be seen by other viewers. And that's how the YouTube algorithm works. Also, I have an Etsy store where I sell my art, and if you'd like to know about that, I'll put the address up on the screen and down below in the description. Let's talk about 18-year-old Kelsey Smith. On the evening of June 2nd, 2007, Kelsey Smith was 18 years old. She had told her father, Greg Smith, that she was going to go shop for an anniversary gift for her boyfriend. They were celebrating their 6-month anniversary. And that was the last time that anybody would ever hear from her. The recent high school graduate left her house at about 6:30 p.m. and she drove to the Target store in Overland Park, Kansas. She knew that she'd have to hurry. She only had about an hour to shop before her special 6-month date. After the hour had passed, Kelsey still wasn't home, and her calls and texts were going unanswered. By this time, Kelsey's parents and her 18-year-old boyfriend, John Beersmith, were growing concerned. It was unlike her. So they drove to Target to see if they could find her, but there was no signs of her, and her car wasn't in the parking lot. So her father, who worked with the police department, contacted the authorities to ask if his daughter's car had been involved in any car accidents, but there were no reports. Kelsey's loved ones continued to search for her car around the area of Target. But it wasn't until hours later that they found her car parked across the street in a lot that belonged to a Macy's store. She wasn't inside. Police were called to the scene and they noted that her keys and phone were missing, and they scrubbed the car for fingerprints. As the investigation continued, her immediate family members and her boyfriend were ruled out as suspects, and authorities wanted to check Kelsey's phone records to determine her whereabouts, but police weren't able to immediately obtain those records. So they searched the surveillance videos from Target, which showed Kelsey her last call had been to her mother from the store. Then she left and disappeared. In her car were her purse, wallet, and the items that she had bought at Target. Target stores use an array of video cameras, and these can often be enhanced internally through the company's Target Forensic Service division. The surveillance footage showed that Kelsey had parked her car, she had walked into Target, she had called her mother, and then she was selecting the items that were later found in her car. And ominously, it also revealed that a male who was white and in his early 20s wearing a white shirt, dark shorts, had entered the store approximately 30 seconds before Kelsey had entered. The man seemed to be in every aisle that Kelsey went to, and nearly every piece of footage that they saw, this man was in that footage. The man made no effort to talk to her. He never approached her. And he left just as she went to the cashier. The cashier hadn't noticed anything. She didn't catch anything unusual. But the footage captured a clear picture of that man leaving the store. In the parking lot, the surveillance video appeared to show that someone was forcing Kelsey into her car. The video at first did not show anything unusual, but when it was slowed down, it revealed a flash in the direction of Kelsey in her car, which is consistent with someone running when the camera is placed at a distance. The outside footage showed a suspicious 1970s-ish Chevy truck leaving the lot, which was also found to have entered the parking lot just before Smith had. The Macy's surveillance video showed that Kelsey's car had been left there at 9:17 p.m., about 2 hours after it had departed the Target parking lot. A figure in a white shirt and dark pants was seen leaving the vehicle and running towards the street, though it was too dark at the time to determine if the figure was a man or a female. The person's clothing seemed to match that of the suspect in the Target footage. When the video was made into a still, there was a clear picture of the man, and it was released to the media. It generated hundreds of tips, but the leads were too general to be useful. When the car was checked for forensic evidence, fingerprint experts isolated all of those people who had a legitimate reason for being in Kelsey's car: her parents, her friends, her boyfriend, and as a result, they found an unidentified print on the seatbelt. Detectives found Kelsey's body because of a cell phone ping that originated from the area on June 2nd, and a number of search areas were identified. Despite efforts by local law enforcement and eventually the FBI, it took Verizon Wireless 4 days to hand over the cell phone records to investigators, which caused a lot of controversy over the delay. A Verizon technician pinpointed a cell phone tower and told investigators to search 1.1 miles north of that. Within 45 minutes, on June 6th at 1:30 p.m., searchers discovered Smith's body in a wooded area near Longview Lake in Grandview, Missouri, 18 to 20 miles from where she had been abducted. Upon learning of Kelsey's body being found, a website that had been dedicated to search for her went offline and was quickly remade into a dedication site. Through subsequent investigation, the cause of death was determined to be strangulation. She had been choked with that seatbelt. The autopsy also showed that she had been SA'd. I think we can fill in what that means. I'm not allowed to say it. A woman who had seen the footage recognized the suspect as her neighbor. The next day, when she saw the information about the truck, she called in on a tip line. On the evening of June 6, 2007, police arrested 26-year-old Edwin Roy, who went by Jack Hall. Hall was in the process of leaving town with his wife and son, supposedly to go on a vacation, when the police arrived. He was charged on June 7th with premeditated first-degree murder and aggravated kidnapping. He had no adult criminal record, but had a juvenile record of assault. Hall, who had been adopted at age 7, had been returned to state custody at the age of 15 because he had been threatening the family's daughter with a knife. He also assaulted another boy by hitting him in the head with a baseball bat. Police do not believe that Hall knew Kelsey. At the time of his arrest, Hall was married and he was the father of a 4-year-old son. He admitted to being at the Target but claimed that he had never approached Smith. However, he was caught in a lie when his fingerprints matched those from that seatbelt. He was arraigned video hookup on June 7th, and his bond was set at $5 million. On August 1st, Hall was indicted by a Johnson County, Kansas grand jury for murder, rape, aggravated sodomy. The charges made Hall eligible for the death penalty, which Johnson County District Attorney Phil Klein decided to seek. Because of the fact that the body had been found in a different state, Missouri, some argued for federal jurisdiction, but because Hall was arrested and in custody in Johnson County, that jurisdiction had the legal authority to pursue the case. And on July 23rd, as part of a plea agreement, Hall pled guilty to all 4 charges. His plea came during what was supposed to be a change of venue hearing. The courtroom was jammed with Smith's parents and other family members and friends and reporters. The hearing was carried live on all 4 Kansas City's television network affiliates. It is believed that Hall spotted Kelsey when she drove into the Target parking lot. He noticed that she was alone, so he began following her around the store. He wanted to make sure she was not going to meet anyone. When he saw that she was about to leave, he went out to his truck and he got a gun. He waited until Kelsey was most vulnerable, when she was getting ready to leave, before he struck. He took her 20 miles away to the Missouri woods where he SA'd her and strangled her. The hearing came a day after a judge ruled the prosecutors could still seek the death penalty for Hall after a judge had denied a defense motion seeking a dismissal of the case on a technicality. On September 16th, Johnson County District Judge Peter V. Ruddock sentenced Hall to life in prison without parole for the kidnapping, SAing, and murder. In court, Hall apologized to Smith's family for his actions. Beyond local Kansas City news, the case received prominent national media attention. It included coverage on national news services like Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, Nancy Grace, and The Today Show. The Mind of a Murderer as an episode of the television show See No Evil, which aired in Canada. And in the United States on Investigation Discovery, Smith's story also aired as an episode of Final Moments. Some believe that the Verizon Wireless company was reluctant to locate a ping from that cell phone because of privacy laws. At the time, cell phone service providers could comply with the request of the subscriber, but not anyone else, which included law enforcement authorities, unless there was a court order issued, and that takes time. This led to the creation of the Kelsey Smith Act, a law that states in essence that cell phone companies can ping a phone if authorities determine that the subscriber is in danger. The United States Congress debated federalizing it. I don't know why that's a debate. In at least one instance, the law was acted upon. In February of 2015, in Lenexa, Kansas, not far from where Smith had grown up, a man stole a car and he was unaware there was a 5-month-old infant inside. We'll put aside the fact that the infant's mother was not. While he was running away, he also ran down a pedestrian in a hit and run. The police found the car a half an hour later at a convenience store because they pinged the phone, which was in the mother's purse. The driver escaped and as of 2015 was still at large. It is believed that once he realized that there was a baby inside, he decided to ditch the car, as in addition to car theft and hit and run, he would face kidnapping charges. What a great thing to come out of something so horrific. I know just by me being a true crime junkie that that law has been used many, many, many times since 2015 and potentially saved many lives, if not at least helping the authorities to find the body of loved ones, to get some type of closure if that's at all possible. Thank you for coming to my channel, and good night.